there guys, it's me, devianamagenta. I'm back again today with another Friday Night Folklore. Today's Folklore actually has a prop. This is a Russian plate that my mom has, and today's fairy tale is a Russian fairy tale, Ruslan and Ludmilla. So there's Ruslan on his noble steed, and there's the Princess Ludmilla trapped in the evil castle, and this is the wicked dwarf Chernomor. So you're going to learn all about those today. Hi, kitty. So, once upon a time, there were two knights. There was a knight named Ruslan and his warrior friend Farloff, and the two of them were riding together to the Duke of Kiev's castle where he was holding a feast for his beautiful daughter Ludmilla, and both of them wanted to vie for her hand in marriage because she was the most beautiful woman in all of the land. Now, when they get there, the feast is great. There's singing, there's dancing. Both of them are, talking to the Duke and flirting with Ludmilla and having a good time, friendly competition. When all of a sudden, there's an ominous crack of thunder, and a great wind howls through the place. And all of the torches and candles and fireplaces go out. The place is plunged into total darkness. Now, when all of the fires are relit and light refills the hall, everybody is totally distraught to find that the lady of the hour, Ludmilla, is missing. And the Duke of Kiev is so distraught, he says, "Everyone, listen up. Ludmilla is missing, and I'm so distressed. I'm so worried about what would have happened to her. I'll send you out, and whoever can find her and bring her home safely will have her hand in marriage." So Ruslan and Farloff, they've got this competition going. Both of them immediately hop onto their horses and ride out of there. And Ruslan goes to his sorcerer friend, Finn, who has a magic crystal ball that lets him, see the truth of things. Whereas Farloff goes to Nina, who is an evil witch. Now, Finn tells Ruslan, "Alright, here's the deal. Ludmilla has been kidnapped by an evil dwarf named Chernomor, who has very powerful magic powers, and he has a spell on him that makes it so that he can only be killed by one specific magical sword. And so you're gonna need to go and get that, and here's where you can get it." And he gives his friend directions. Now, Farloff is visiting Nina, the evil witch, and she says, "Now, there is a magic sword you could use to kill this Chernomor, but your friend Ruslan is already going to get it. So I suggest that you just wait until he's already killed the dwarf. Then you kill him, take the magic sword and the maiden." And so Ruslan is riding off on his horse to, go get this magic sword, but his friend Farloff, his friend, is just sitting back and waiting because he knows that what's coming to him is coming to him, So Ruslan comes to the place where the magic sword is said to be. And up above it, there's this giant floating head that's blasting out flames. And he rides up, with his lance out and his shield up, ready to fight. And the giant head cries out, "Who goes there?" And he says, "I am Ruslan the knight, and I have come to take the sword and slay Chernomor." And the head goes, "Oh, well, in that case, you can take it. You see, Chernomor placed an evil spell on me that transformed me into this giant head. I was once a knight like yourself with the same goal of slaying him. So if you take the sword and kill him, the curse will be broken and I will be free. So you can just have it." And Ruslan is like, "Sure," and takes the sword because he had been totally expecting a fight. Now he rides off to Chernomor's palace, and in the meantime, Ludmilla is trapped in this castle, and the grounds are beautiful. They're filled with all types of flowers and trees and birds, and Ludmilla is free to walk about them as she sees fit, but she's still trapped within the walls, and she's weeping with sorrow because she knows that she will never see her beloved father again. So, as Ruslan rides up and cries out, "Free the Princess Ludmilla or die!" Ludmilla is filled with, delight and joy that she is being rescued. Chernomor, he's got magic powers that let him fly. And so he flies out of the castle and starts swooping at Ruslan and kicking him on the way past and shooting bolts of magic at him. Ruslan is parrying them with his shield and trying to slash at this dwarf, but every time he tries to hit him, the dwarf swoops right out of his reach, and the big beard that's hanging from him is like tangling all over Ruslan and like getting in his eyes, distracting him. He's just really frustrated. He can't land a single hit on this guy. And as the battle is wearing on, he's starting to get really exhausted. He's kind of wounded. It's not looking good. But then he hears the voice of his sorcerer friend Finn, as if coming from afar, saying, "The beard is the source of his power." And so with a mighty sweep, Ruslan chops the dwarf's beard right off, and the dwarf falls to the ground with a heavy thud. And Ludmilla is freed. Now as Ruslan is riding back with Ludmilla, they come past the place where the giant head had been, and there in his place is a warrior knight with the same face, and Ruslan recognizes him, and he's there fighting his friend Farloff. And as Ruslan watches, this knight defeats Farloff, and Farloff falls to the ground dead. And Ruslan runs over and goes, "What did you do that for?" And the head explains, "You see, this was an evil man. He was going to kill you and take the princess for himself." And so Ruslan rides back home to the Duke of Kiev with Ludmilla, and the warrior knight accompanies them riding on Farloff's horse. And when they arrive, the Duke of Kiev is so delighted to see that his daughter is all right that he declares a wedding feast like the world has never seen. And Ruslan and Ludmilla live happily ever after. Hey guys, thanks for watching. Go ahead and pop a like down in the comments. Let me give you guys one last look at this little plate before I go. It's pretty cool, isn't it? This is my mom's, and she keeps it safe. It's very old. Yeah, so there's Ruslan on his noble steed, and Ludmilla trapped in the castle, and there's Chernamor with his long beard. So, yeah, you guys have a lovely day. Bye-bye.